Facebook, I usually get a message when it is, and like I said, it is connected, so I'm wondering what's going on. Because when we stream on live stream, it goes to the back, and it should show up on Facebook, and even simultaneously now on others will be on YouTube Live, and now it's showing me that I'm live on Facebook. Good evening, America. I'm Scott Binsack, founder, CEO of March for America. Today, again, you see complete chaos in the federal courts for a matter that shouldn't even be in their hands. Americans need to understand something. This entire process from the beginning, and I'm not talking about Trump's immigration ban, not a Muslim ban, immigration ban, should not have even been touched by a district federal court, nor should it thus now be at the Ninth Circuit. This was a planned, wanton and willful act by the Democrats, liberals, and you can assure yourself Obama, Clinton, Soros is behind this. The judge from Washington does not even have jurisdiction to argue this case or even look at this case. This is an executive branch order that the President of the United States, which Barack Obama used many times, executive orders similar to this, and even himself carrying out bans on visas, green cards, immigrants coming from other countries, including which was Iraq. The main principle here, and like today's performance by the Department of Justice lawyer before these three liberal Ninth Circuit judges, and just so you know, there's a panel of 11. So in this case, this has me boiling. I've studied the law for 25 years myself. I have been in front of many judges, and one, including that of federal. And this court, the original court in this was sought out purposely. This is a setup. This is corruption at its finest. You are watching corruption at the highest levels to destroy Donald Trump, embarrass Trump, and that these courts should not even be hearing this matter. There's no jurisdiction. No one's been harmed in the Washington, Seattle area or in the state of Washington, period. They picked this judge. They picked the Ninth Circuit because it's liberal and it's the most overturned out of any circuit. And let's make this clear. This was a deliberate setup. And for the Ninth Circuit today, and I'm telling you, the Department of Justice lawyer was unprepared. It was a joke. And Trump needs to get his shit together on who's working for him and who's not. If it was up to me, I would tell you, Donald, go get Laura Ingraham in on your team ASAP. She should have been on his team. She was on Hannity tonight. Laura Ingraham is on fire. I mean, she knows what she's doing. Just like when this district ruling came down, as she said, they should have been ready and all ready to go to file in every district in the United States an appeal to this and amount every district, so that the judges from every district could rule on this matter, just like the Massachusetts judge ruled in favor of Trump's order, and that's the correct law. He can't touch this. The federal district judge shouldn't touch this, thus it shouldn't be before the Court of Appeals. And now let's get into the argument of what's going on at the Court of Appeals, though. Okay? On the Ninth Circuit. The three judges, you know, one's appointed by Obama. And the questions, and I'll get into that in a minute. Because this is, I am furious about this. Because it shouldn't be. And you're watching corruption at the highest level from our federal courts. You think this is bad now? You see this, how bad it is? This is how bad it is on the lower state levels and federal levels across this country. That's not to say there's not a lot of good judges as well. But this is a disgrace to our judicial process. You're talking about an executive order from the President of the United States that was passed by Congress to allow him to do just that. And people are focusing on the facts instead of the law here. And this is how the Ninth Circuit is spinning it, and this is how the district judge spun it, and I'm going to get into that. So let's get into this. You have a Department of Justice lawyer today who is totally unprepared, and more importantly, you have district judges asking questions that have nothing to do with their ruling in this case. This case, in law, there's a matter of fact and a matter of law. And it's like what you want to say when it comes to law, there's all four corners of reading the law. You stay within those corners. In other words, the statute is this, the law is this. Excuse me. In this case, the law is clear. You cannot override a president's executive order. Courts do not make law, just so you know that. They do not make law. They enforce law. This is Law 101. And what you see happening before you is corruption 1001. And here's the Ninth Circuit judges questioning the Department of Justice lawyer as to, how many of these countries, out of these countries, can you give us an example of terror attacks from these countries? That's not the question here. This is a question of law. And the law shows it's not about whether any of these countries had any Muslims coming in or how many Muslims were affected by this or the above. That's not what any of these arguments should have been before this court, nor should they have even asked these questions. And any good lawyers watching me, or just anybody in the game of this that knows law, knows I'm correct. They shouldn't even be asking these questions. It has nothing to do with that. This is a matter of law. There should be even no oral argument. The law is clear. Judges are supposed to enforce law, not create law. And they're trying to create law right now and override the executive branch of the government while you have the ACLU and these backed organizations, Soros-backed organizations, liberal-backed organizations trying to spin it before these judges. And these judges know better. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They know better. They know better. And they're going along with this. And Americans should be ashamed. This is our federal court system. They know that this shouldn't even be in their hands. They know that the Seattle judge that has no jurisdiction to even hear this case. And they also know that they can't change an executive branch law. The results are in their hands. But do you understand this liberal side, this corrupt machine does not give a shit. They don't give a shit if 50 million Muslims come in here and wreak havoc and yell Allah Akbar down the streets and cut everybody's head off with a fucking machete. Because it's very clear that they do not. Because if they did, the Ninth Circuit would have immediately said, as a matter of law, the Washington State Court has no jurisdiction to hear this case. And that's that. End it. Sorry, president's law goes into effect. And now they're trying to change the law to where they could possibly turn around and send it back down to the district level and say, well, reenact part of it and not all of it and all this stuff. Trump and the Department of Justice needs to get their head out of their ass. These judges are questioning the Department of Justice about Rudy Giuliani said this, that, how many people are affected in these countries. None of that matters. It doesn't matter, like I said, if there's 0 Muslims coming in. It doesn't. If the president feels that there is a security risk from these countries, whether they're from Barack Obama or Bugs Bunny, it doesn't matter. The president and the ACLU is trying to spin it. Oh, well, we have to keep the executive branch in checks and balances. No. That's Congress's job. Congress passed this law for the president to carry out. Barack Obama's used this law, and so has several other presidents before him. You don't see them getting hauled into district court because you can't. What you're watching before you, America, is complete corruption, and the biggest smokescreen is just like the Russians did it. And if you see that they can pull this off and use federal judges to commit this is heinous corruption. Think about how bad what they can do to this administration and to this country and how bad they've already destroyed it to where they're using federal judges who we rely on in all the different districts to enforce the law. Judges are not there to create law. It's Law 101. They are there to enforce the law. Both sides present the case. They're in there questioning us, like I said, as to, well, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that and how many people are affected by this and how many shouldn't be affected. All three of you, liberal fucking Ninth Circuit judges, you shamed of yourself. You know as a matter of law, there's nothing about facts in this case. The four corners of the law and this executive order follows the law, and there is no argument about facts. It doesn't matter, as I said, if there's 0 Muslims coming in. If the president, through confidential information, believes that there's an emergency situation in this country and a security risk from 10 countries, 1 country, 2 countries, he has the right, just as other presidents before him used this same executive order, and thus law, to enact the same. What you're seeing across the boards here, everybody, is complete the Matrix. This is the fucking Matrix. This is like the worst, has to be in history, of a federal court getting involved. And this could be stalled back, forth, all the way up. And when it gets to the Supreme Court, they're going to say this, they're going to go, they're probably not, they're going to have to rule on it. And you're going to watch them hold up, okay, Trump's pick getting in, and they're going to do that. Just like the Senate held a 30-hour around-the-clock session to berate other senators, Republican senators, to try to get them to flip their vote against Davos as education secretary. 30 hours they berated other Republican congressmen to try to get one of them. Warren up there, Pocahontas. Oh, all we need is one. 30 hours. Your tax-paying dollars paid for these freaking nutcase liberals to berate other congressmen to try to get them to flip for one vote so that Pence couldn't do his vote. And then you saw history in the making for the first time. You see lots of history in the making here. From the corruption to that of even using, like in Pence's case, having to have the final vote to get her in. This is what this administration is up against. These people. Then you see Pocahontas now on Facebook Live going after this stuff. These people are not going to quit. They have corrupt federal judges in their pocket. They have corrupt politicians across this country, and even Republican senators and congressmen of the like are involved in this. And then you have the global elite behind them. And Soros and everyone feeding this. These judges in the Ninth Circuit are the most overturned out of any circuit in the United States. What does that tell you? They planned this perfectly. They knew exactly what they were going to do. They knew exactly how they were going to do it. And the Department of Justice lawyer, no, he wasn't just unprepared. I'm telling you, he was a sellout. That was the worst argument on a telephone, because the bottom line should have been, even when they asked him questions about, what's the proof from these countries that there's any, the judges don't even have that right to ask this question, because it's not a matter of fact, it's a matter of law. And the law in the four corners is very clear. The president has the right, and there should be no argument before them, because they don't have the jurisdiction to create a law. That's not what courts do. They enforce the law. And they're now trying to create a new law, basically, so to speak, and override the presidential's executive branch powers. This has never been, this is all three of them, pack your shit. And they should be thrown off the bench after this and investigated, as should the lower district court judge. This is how you want judges to operate outside the law and do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it, and even hold up the president? I don't know who Trump's got up there in the Department of Justice, but these people are fucking him. Excuse my French, but they're screwing him. And this guy's argument today, this is law 101. And you're allowed to, I don't care if they're circuit judges or Supreme Court judges, you're allowed to say to them, excuse me, this is a matter of law. This doesn't matter to how many Muslims have come in or where the danger is coming from. It doesn't matter. What if it's top secret, just so you know? What if the president has information that we don't know, which he does? And what if there are, different branches have information about Iraq, Syria, and the like. The president does not have to give any explanation to anyone to carry out this executive order, nor does a district federal judge, just like the one in Massachusetts, rightfully ruled. It's not his jurisdiction. The president has the right under the law to do this. You're watching the biggest dog and pony show and fucking circus you've ever seen. And the circus is just like the Russians. The Russians did it. The Russians did it. And now they keep pushing Donald Trump's treatment to Putin. And now they have a Senate investigation committee going with that. Watch. Evidence going to pop up out of the blue. I'm telling you. Watch. Just like this report from the CIA and the FBI that popped up and said, Russia interfered with our elections, and another dog and pony show, which half this country believes. Yet there's no proof of it. There's really no proof that the Russians affected anything. So, but pay attention. You're watching them use complete false information, not following the law, and now you see them doing it in a federal court situation. This is the ultimate corruption that you could see. And without Trump's pick at the Supreme Court, you could either have a tie, you could have them send it down, back again, and it could just lay in limbo like this without anybody doing this, because this has never happened before, basically. You cannot even, and this is my point, if I was the president, I would sign a new executive order. I would sign a new one. Change it a little bit, sign a new one. Don't follow Barack Obama's old, do your own, come up, hey, these countries, this is how it is, and I'm banning them. Because the president has the right to do that. These federal court that does not have jurisdiction to overrule the president of the United States and create their own law. Judges don't create laws. They enforce them. Now, if there was a writ of habeas corpus as filed originally in New York for a detainee from these two gentlemen from Iraq, okay? They have the right to use the writ of habeas corpus to go to the federal judge and say, by the way, these two immigrants with visa holders are being wrongfully detained, okay? They can argue that as a matter of law before the district judge. And even at that hearing, the district judge should have ruled, just like the one in Massachusetts did, that we're sorry, the president has the right, he's following the law, they have to obey this. Pack your shit, get out of the freaking courtroom, we're done. Just like the Massachusetts judge did. But instead, you got the liberal Barack Obama appointed judge. That was a setup. So the only thing that can come before these district judges is writ of habeas corpus for an individual. You can't just go and I'm telling you, can't even civilly sue the president of the United States for you can bring the suits. But they're immune. Otherwise, everything that the president, now they want to change the law to make them not immune? Because it's Donald Trump and they don't like him? And they want him out and they want to destroy his presidency? That's not how it works. These people, this side, the Democrats, the liberals, this is sick madness and causing severe civil unrest and division in the United States. And they're using and the corruption is so broad, so outlandish. And there's experts all over the place saying it. But you know what? The false media is out there, pow, 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 blasting this. Every day Trump wakes up, he's going to be at war in this country. I said it the night he got elected. People said, no, he'll fix it. No, you see what's happening here? This is how corrupt. People should really wake up to this. This as an example out as to how corrupt our judicial system is, both on the federal and state level, and how corrupt and how many, in every branch of government in Washington, how it's filled with corruption and drain the swamp, drain the ocean. The ocean. And you're seeing it and seeing it more. And these federal judges should be disgraced. They swore and uphold an oath to the United States Constitution. But you can see what Barack Obama and the left have done to our Constitution. You can see it. They have destroyed it. And so these judges think that they can do whatever they want to do, even over the president of the United States. There are checks and balances. However, that's not the way to use a checks and balance as for an executive order. They're not here to create laws. They're here to enforce them. And they clearly aren't enforcing a law that is clear within its four corners that the president has every right to do this. I ask you, God forbid he has to sign. What if, and we are at war with terrorists, with ISIS, with ISIL, with the Taliban, and other. We are at war. It doesn't matter if the president decides it's 3 countries, 2 countries, 1, 7, 9. How come this one's not on the list? How come that one's not on the list? There can't be any argument about that. You want to know why? Because it's a matter of law, not a matter of fact. And these Ninth Circuit judges grilled, question these people all about facts instead of the freaking law. There's no standing. They don't have a right to say what Rudy Giuliani said or why. Show me, Department of Justice. They asked the Department of Justice, POS. Show what's the examples on these countries of why the president picked these countries. Guess what? That information, seriously, is top secret. It doesn't, you can give acts, not acts. What if they know of a pending terrorist act? What if they want? It doesn't matter. That's why you have the executive branch. The president and Congress puts his laws in play for the president to use, and Barack Obama used them all the time. You saw no one stand up in the street. You didn't see anybody suing in federal court. You saw nobody doing shit. Zero. Nothing. This is a very disturbing time in this country to where they have sunk so low, and that even our federal judges, and I've seen corruption before, but this is outrageous. Outrageous. And this circus is going to continue until Trump stops it. And he's being sold out by the Department of Justice as well. And those, I'm telling you, that lawyer did a horrible job. The whole argument he should have been making the whole time is this is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how many Muslims or terrorist attacks from the 7 countries that Trump chose, that Obama had already picked. And it doesn't matter if Obama picked them. It doesn't matter if Donald Duck picked them. It just doesn't. If the president feels, and his security team, advisors, feel that these are the countries that they want to stop and stop anybody from coming in from these countries or detain them here, they have that right. Period. He has that right. And nor do they have to share that information actually with anybody, because it could be, meaning you don't want to really share. It could be any type of information that could protect the United States. They've turned this into some race, religious, and the federal court has no right to even hear that. It's not their jurisdiction. They don't create laws or question that of an executive order from the president. The Supreme Court will look at this and go, well, you got a bunch of liberals on there. They'll look at this and be like either, which God willing, because that's where it's going. And Trump should already be ready with the Department of Justice with the best attorneys that they got. Not this clown that was in there. I'm telling you, sellout. This has all been planned. No conspiracy theory here. This is a fact. This has all been planned, and the left is coming hard, and you can see them using federal judges to carry out that ugly act. You cannot even count on certain federal judges who are corrupt and beholden to the left, and they're not supposed to be non-biased. That's not non-biased. The Ninth Circuit shouldn't even be questioning any of that shit. All they should have done, there shouldn't even be a hearing, by the way. We're not arguing facts here. This is a matter of law. It's very simple, and they know it. Believe me, these judges know it. They turned the United States into a freaking circus. And it's embarrassing. It's detrimental to this country. It creates civil unrest. It has created a security problem with this country. Because if you think, and I love how these people quote how much they love Islam, how much they love Muslims. I think they forget, let's not even put in 9/11. Let's just forget about even recent attacks. California, woman shoots up, kills people. Ohio State. I mean, we could go down the line. This, and we are at war with ISIS, another one of our creations, to not put it back. We are at war with ISIS and ISIL and radical Islamic terrorism across the board. We're at war in Syria. We're at war in Syria. We're at war in Afghanistan. We're at war in Libya, so to speak. We are at war in Iraq. We're going to be at war in Iran. Yemen as well. And the judges want to ask, guess what? You ever heard of protecting the United States first? This just goes with the law that McCain and them want to try to pass, that Donald Trump doesn't have the right to declare nuclear war until we get attacked first. This is how outlandish this shit is. It's the same thing in this immigration ban. Trump wants to shut the gates, build a wall, serious vetting, shut the gates off temporarily of these immigrants coming into our country from Pacific countries that have shown a threat to us and through terrorism, until there's a better vetting process in place. And he has that right to do it. We're pre-protecting the United States from further attacks. Other countries use it all the time. Barack Obama's used it. This is why you act first. And they're saying, they're like, no, let's let them all in. And even as they're trying to do with Trump's nuclear capability, Trump's got to get permission. He can't strike first. He's got to wait till we get struck. This is truth. Who in the fucking right mind wants to wait until we get struck with a nuclear missile, EMP, anything first, and then have to strike back and get permission? Trump then can strike back. Do you see what these people are doing? They're putting the United States in grave danger. And other countries are looking at this, including these terrorists, and they're going, look, this is great. We got civil unrest going here. He can't even stop us from coming in, and they're funneling in. They want to slow down even hiring border guards because they want more border guards. They need the money. Congress and the Senate are bought, a majority of them, on both freaking sides. It's that disgusting, and that's the truth. Not all of them, okay? But the Republicans will sell out Trump just as fast as the Democrats have and are going after him. And Elizabeth Warren, you shouldn't even be a fucking senator. You should be locked the fuck up. Sorry I'm cursing a lot tonight, everybody, but this is ridiculous. What you see happening before this country, it's like somebody needs to come up and just like, hello, like, really? And I'm kind of shocked that Donald Trump has not come up and really just forget the press and all this, Mr. President, forget all this. Come out and point out, truly, this is a law, an executive order. You have the right, and sign a new one. Nothing says he can't sign a new one. He can sign another one. There's nothing in the law that says he can't sign another executive order. Just change it a little bit. Add some more countries that are detrimental to us and part of terrorism. But they're not prepared for this. And he's being sold out. And you want to know why? He doesn't even have his whole team in, even close to his whole team. He's got moles. He's got rats, whatever you want to call them, moles, rats, everything. This is the worst thing going on. Holdovers from Obama, leaks of information going out, false story after false news story. It's a disgrace. It is a complete disgrace. And you know what? All these people involved in this seem to forget one thing. The United States has serious enemies. I mean, dangerous people. Dangerous, radical, forget just the terrorists. Okay, we got North Koreans, we got China, we even got Russia. We have a lot of enemies. This country's being left wide open, and they're making a mockery out of Donald Trump as a president, to where they're trying to close him in and he can't even do anything without them crying, oh my God, I need therapy, let's run to the court, let's sue him, let's do this. Rosie O'Donnell's even suing him in Supreme Court. For real? You don't even have a standing to sue the president in this country. Just like you can't sue, like these Ninth Circuit judges, we can't turn around and sue a Ninth Circuit judge. You can't sue the judge. The judge is immune. Why is the judge immune? Because if every ruling that a judge did was to be able to be questioned and they could be sued on, you'd never have any justice and you'd never have any get anything done. The court systems will be for everybody that got locked up or everybody that had a civil action that a judge ruled against them, blah, 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 or opposite sides. You'd have everybody filling into the courts like you see now, suing the president. They're suing the president. But you can't sue a judge either. You got no standing unless you're going after the judge ex parte, meaning he's done something outside of his realm, outside the scope. And this is ex parte, what's going on here. This is outside the scope. There's no jurisdiction here. And yet it keeps standing because I'm telling you, I don't know who's the temporary inside the Department of Justice. They need Trump's pick. Excellent. To go in there, and they need to clean house in the Department of Justice. This is sickening. This is pathetic. It's just mind-boggling to me, and mind-boggling to many, many top legal experts, professors, attorneys, everything. And here, I'm going to say something. I've watched several. I don't watch other news channels, but in this case, I was listening to different opinions on news channels just to see how far they could twist this shit, put this crap out there, and these alleged legal experts on the left side, okay, on the left side, like you watch on Hannity had the best show about this. You had Laura Ingraham on, and even Laura said. And Trump should have brought her on a long time ago and offered her position. Because she said it right away. Nobody was prepared for this. They don't have standing. They should have been prepared to file immediately, fought back on this in every district court to say you have no legal rights to even hear this case, and fought back before that, and been prepared to go to the Supreme Court if necessary on a moment's notice to stop this. But you know what's happening? You got sellouts and complete, just utter treasonistic mindset in the Department of Justice going on. Trump's being dragged every day in his team with tons of stress from bullshit from all fronts. And that's what they want to do. Distraction here, lawsuit here, this here, that here, blah, blah, blah. Even his conversations, top secret conversations, confidential top secret conversations with the president of Australia, these things leaking. Do anybody get this on the left? Do you not understand you're putting our country in serious harm? In harm's way. That the enemies of the United States get a hold of certain information. They see this as civil war in our country, which it is, and I'm deeming it the same. That's what this is. You may not have the guns out, but you got everything else going on. It is civil war. You're opening our country up, and that's why you see Iran snubbing their nose at us, testing everything at their earliest, whenever they can, come after Trump, and they've been doing it hard, like I predicted they would. And you have China doing the same thing, and North Korea is getting ready. Watch. And they're going to they see this as an opening, and they see the Trump administration not being organized. They see the media hitting him on every basis, and guess what? They don't see anybody really in the United States, except for a select few, standing up for their vote, the person they voted for. Because they think that this is going to go away. Even Hannity tonight, Laura Ingraham said there's going to be war declared, as I've said. As I have said every day. It's nice. I come on, and this one I'm touting my horn on. I have come on with my shows, and I have said many, many things, including the Saudi Arabia story about the missile that everybody thought was fake. I was the first one to talk about it at all before the news, before anybody on the social internet, except two people on YouTube where people sent me videos thereafter. It was almost at the same time or right there that day that it happened. But I brought it out on social media on like this. And sure enough, oh, that's fake. That's fake. It's not fake. It's true. It is true. My point being, everything I've said I said this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. I've been right. I don't want to be honest with you, I wish I was wrong about how bad this is, but I'm not. I'm not. And it's completely pathetic. And it's sad, and it's putting all of Americans, all of us, we all bleed red, white, and blue, get it? We all bleed red. It's putting our entire country in jeopardy because these assholes don't care about Americans. They want to use Americans. They want to use women in the Women's March, headed up by a Muslim, okay? And George Soros and the like. They don't care. Their bigger agenda is to disrupt, rip out the core of the United States, and carry out a much bigger mission. And that is New World Order and globalization. And they use the light. Now, Hillary Clinton's up there making a speech praising the Women's March and praising all this, because this is now you're going to start to see her surface. I predicted this too. You're going to see her surface more and more and more and more and more. And they're going to use this because I'm telling you now, they have a plan, 6 to 12 months to get Donald Trump, either force him out or impeach him. And the impeachment procedures, then here's the best. You got Nancy Pelosi up there talking about how Bush, total, like, Nancy, what time are you living in? What planet and what time frame are you living in? Then you have Representative Waters going, well, Nancy Pelosi's not talking about impeachment yet, but I want to impeach Donald Trump. And you know, Putin, he's invading North Korea. What'd you say, lady? What did you say? These people get elected to Congress. Shit. I mean, let's put Donald Duck in Congress. Let's put, let's put Wilbur in Congress. Oh, Wilbur! Let's put him in Congress to represent all the assholes in America. How's that? Let's put Dana in Congress. She'll harass everybody. She'll get them to go, listen, hey, give me a pay, man. Sorry for everybody who's new. Those are our haters at MFA. And I got news at the end of the show for that. And then I got a special show for you tomorrow that's going to blow your mind. So, but my point is, let's just, anybody can be a congressman, woman. These people are nuts. And they're putting our country in grave danger. That's not an exaggeration. Trump doesn't even have a team to run this country, and that's what they want. But you know what they're banking on? They're taking a huge risk. Because while they play their corrupt bullshit power games, this country, you better hope that something serious doesn't happen, like a real major terrorist attack, or a false flag from the shadow government to pull this into play. But you see, the shadow government, these Obama and them won't do that, because that'll make Trump look like a hero right now. That's why I'm predicting there won't be a major false flag in the United States having to do with immigration. Okay, there might be a small distractions here, but there's not going to be anything major, because that would make Trump look like a hero, and they don't want that. That would be able to, Trump could turn around and say, see, look, you allowed these people, and it could be, tied to an immigrant or they won't do that. So you don't have to worry about that happening. Now, getting a false flag from Iran, something like that overseas, or from North Korea, or from Russia to cause Russia, but they're using them in their Ukraine theater right now and doing the same there and distracting Putin with more bullshit over there, and distracting the people in Syria as well. Point being, America, this is scary shit. Why? And I don't mean for you to live in fear every day. I'm just telling you the United States is wide open. And it's because of this left, liberal, diseased, globalists, and warmongers like John McCain, Elizabeth Warren, Waters. She's wonderful. Oh, yeah, Putin's invading Korea. Lady, what crack are you smoking? Pack your shit, too. You got to drain the ocean. And this is going to be serious, and it's going to be hard, because this is serious shit happening. You even have federal fucking judges that are not upholding a president's executive order. That's if you really want to look at it, it's like treason. It's treasonistic. My word, by the way. So people will go, what word is that? Do you not know how to speak? That's been Sakis. Get over it. You don't like it? Don't watch me. There's 10 more waiting for confirmation. Yes, I know. As I mentioned last night, the Women's March. I had somebody come on about our shirts. This shirt's right here. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm going to show you something. This is how even our side is screwed up. You see this? This is not for our march. This is not my march. Okay? I voted Trump Pence. We did these in response to the nasty women's march, right? Okay? So they come on and go, you know what? The women's march is over. We don't need that. You know, this, what? The women's march, that's the name that they're using, and they're going to continue to use it. And they're just moveon.org. Move On is George Soros. Move On is creating, they want women to walk off their jobs, and they're going to do it. Just watch. They're going to do it. They have an event. Ours is on April 22nd, and I'm proud to say finally the event will be up tonight. And I'm told by the AM, I just got approved and go over the website and all the information you'll need for that. It's April 22nd. I'm going to go over some things when I'm done with this video to clarify some things with people. Okay, because I want to make this clear when I'm done. My point being, people are like, oh, women's march is done. No, women's march is just getting started. That was nothing. That was nothing compared to what's coming. And why? They're unifying. And they're unifying, and they're unifying, and they're unifying. What is it going to take on the right side? What's it going to take? How much more do you have to see? How much madness from the left do you have to see? How serious this is. And it's not going to go away. Laura Ingraham said it best tonight. And I think Trump should contact Laura Ingraham and get her on your team ASAP. That woman knows her shit. She knows her law. And Trump's, even some people close to him, he needs to clean house. I'm telling you, he needs to clean house with certain people, even close to him, that he decided on this team. And I'm not talking about his cabinet picks. Okay? I'm talking about in his inner circle in the White House. There's a lot of bullshit going on. There's definitely moles in there. And you have the Department of Justice riddled with Obama holdovers. People are outright not wanting to follow the law, the oaths they took to stand. This has never happened. I mean, this is madness. Madness. And people should be getting angry. I mean, angry. Not violent, but angry. And do something. And we have to work together to do something. Because this is not going away. And when you see these federal judges, they had no right, just so you all know. And any lawyer watching this knows I'm saying it's correct. They should not have even been questioning what countries the president picked, or why did he pick these, how many terrorist acts happened, from this country, that country. They're not there to create law. They're not there to even question the facts of why Donald Trump, as President Trump, enacted this executive order. They are there to enforce the law, and the law is very clear within the four corners. I mean, this is the word. I'm praying. I am praying that you might have a 2-1 here. I doubt it. I doubt it. Yes, you should have a 2-1 in this decision there, and it's going to hold, or they'll send it to the Supreme Court and say they don't want to touch it, or they'll send it back down and tell the district judge that had no jurisdiction to begin with, and thus they don't, to say, well, let's add this or change this or re-examine this law. They'll say, let's re-examine this. Re-examine nothing. Their ruling should be, turn this shit over, put it back. You had no jurisdiction. You abused your discretion. You piece of shit, falsely claiming, to be a conservative when in fact you're a liberal, refugee helping, blowjob judge with his little bow tie. This is why I can't stand this. Good judge, like Massachusetts, follows the law. They're not there to create laws. Laws are not created by judges. They're there to follow it. Fucking disgrace. Complete disgrace. I hate corruption. And this is corruption. People think that this was deep. The corruption here is massive. It is huge. And you're watching a coup. This is what this really is an inside coup with the outside liberals and that all working together to destroy this presidency. And to come at this man from every angle because he's coming and trying to make America great again and follow through on every promise he made to the American people because he's a people's president. He's not one of them. He's not the puppet. Okay? But somebody and a few people are giving him some bad advice. And he's got so much shit on his table. And he can't trust certain people around him. And you can't trust the holdouts. He doesn't have his picks. And that's what they're deliberately doing. all of them confirmed, and they're going to drag this out. They're going to keep dragging this shit out with everybody with Sessions. They're deathly afraid of Sessions because Sessions going to come in and clean house one in the DOJ, as well as come after Hillary Clinton. He's going to come after all this. I'm telling you, the Clinton Foundation, Obama, even if he comes up in this, which he should and will, they know it. So they're going to do everything in their power to get, and impeachment proceedings are coming. I'm telling you, just watch. They're coming. And they're going to say that he conspired with the Russians. More bullshit. And how the left can even believe this shit? Because Hillary Clinton, there she is. Hillary Clinton looks like death. A disgrace. A complete disgrace. It's a complete disgrace. And you know what? Half this country should be ashamed of themselves to not pay attention to what this country is. Half this country doesn't even know what real immigrants went through to come here and build this country and to have laws that give us the freedom and due process and the rights that we have that have been slowly being, and under Obama quickly, but before that, slowly being ripped from us. And it's because they want to do this. The globalists, there's not a conspiracy anymore. This is the truth. The big bad, it's like Star Wars, or any, let's pick anything, it doesn't matter. You can pick any good and evil situation, and that's what you have here. And you got some of the world waking up to it, and the others following along like sheep, and you have them taking advantage of it. And I said when Donald Trump was elected, I said to everybody, it's on my video still, I said, if you, us on the right, give them an inch, a half an inch, they're going to come in and find anything that they can to destroy him. And they found it here. They already knew he was going to do an immigration ban. They call it a Muslim ban. And thank God at least one of the judges on the Ninth Circuit asked the question of how is this a Muslim ban when other countries that are from Muslims we're allowing into this country. So it's not a Muslim ban. So that's why I'm saying you're going to have a 2-to-1 ruling up top. And the one judge is going to be in favor. Will Sessions straighten out the executive order? No, he cannot. Well, he'll put the right people in charge to argue this. This Department of Justice lawyer was not prepared. It's horrible. It's being talked about on the right, like how bad this guy was, and he didn't mean it. This bullshit. I'm telling you, it was a complete setup. Just like the judge, just like the court that was chosen for this, they chose all this. This was a massive setup. Complete setup. The court does not even have, just like the Massachusetts judge immediately ruled, I can't change this. This is an executive order. Read it. The 21-page order from the Massachusetts judge is correct. That's the only thing I think the Department of Justice got right. They're using that order to help argue, meaning that presiding case, the case is cited within that order that are presiding, to argue this, saying the president has the right to do this. And imagine if the president used an executive order to do something else, like war, whatever, declare a state of emergency, martial law for something that took place that desperately needs it, and you'll have them running to court. If that was the case, you'd have everybody in the United States that didn't like something that the president did, they'd be suing him every day. And it would be tying up our courts, and that's why you have separation, and you have checks and balances, but you also have separations and immunity. I would have turned around and said to the Ninth Circuit, well, let me ask you a question. Can you be sued? Your Honor, can you be sued as a judge? Can you be sued? And I don't care what judge it is. Can you be sued? His answer is going to say no. And why is that, Your Honor? Well, I have immunity. Well, why do you have immunity? Well, because I'm a judge. Because otherwise, every ruling I make, I would be sued for, and they wouldn't stand. Same thing with the president. These are urgent executive orders that Congress gave him the power to do. Obama used these same orders. They've been prepared in there to cite every time Obama used this order, every time Clinton used this order, every time Bush used this order. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Done. It's just mind-boggling. Completely mind-boggling. And that's the scary part. They're doing this. They are just doing this, and no one seems to be stopping them. And every time the Department of Justice goes in there, these are lawyers that are in the Department of Justice? Really? Shit. My 16-year-old daughter could have given a better argument if I prepped her for it. You know, Mike, I agree with you, and I'm going to say this to everybody. You know, everybody keeps saying people can't hide from God. People can't, need to pray. I fully believe that. I'm a full-blooded in prayer. I've seen prayer work. I've seen that, but you know how it works? God helps those who help themselves. We must rise against this in all fashions. And I'm not talking about just marching or protesting. I'm talking about across the board here. These people are working around the clock and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They don't care about their jobs, and they do have jobs. I've been doing a lot of research and having our team with MFA Underground do a lot of research about this because I'm tired of hearing these people are all paid, these people don't have jobs, these people are all on welfare. How about not? That's not true. These people are putting their cause first. Because guess what? You won't have a job. You won't have a country if this continues, and our president will not stay in office. Because they're pulling out all stops. And if they can get federal judges to do this and tie up an executive order that's can keep the United States safe, get ready for what's next. You think they won't impeach him? Do you think they won't come after him and make shit up to come after him? You don't think they won't try to assassinate him? You don't think any of this is possible? You all better wake up. Because they're doing it right before your face. Right before your eyes, it's happening. And it's just aggravating to me that people, don't worry. And I said it since he was elected. I already voted. I don't need to do anything. I voted. I'm done. I'm voted. I'm done. I'm voted. I'm done. I'm voted. I'm done. I'm voted. I'm done. Great patriot you are for your country. You vote and then just bail? Lazy fuckers. You care about your country? You care about Donald Trump? You care about the man you elected president? You see what he's going through? Then take head out of ass and pay attention because this shit is happening before your eyes. And God's not going to come down and stop it. People need to stop it. Trump needs to also get more serious, thinking Obama's his good friend and this stuff. I'm like, what? These people are coming for him every day. Every day, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And so if y'all haven't noticed, this has gotten worse and worse and worse. No, Larry, I'm not calming down. I'm tired of staying calm. Now I'm going to get into something else. Okay? I'm done with my rant about this, and the facts I've given you are true, and it's only going to get worse. And I will tell you this. Be prepared. The United States is going to strike back to Iran. Get ready. They're going to strike back to Iran. Just watch. That's correct, Elaine. We need to set a precedent as they are doing on their side. That's the point. Why is it that people on the right don't want to do this? I don't get it. Liberals want to do this shit all day long. I don't care if they have jobs or they don't have jobs. They make the time. They have families. They have this. You're talking about millions of people here. You're not talking about like 10,000, okay? And they're going to keep hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. Christ, it wasn't even safe for the Patriots to with Brady and to go in a parade because of the serious death threats. I mean, massive from Trump's haters. There's not a site you can't go by. There's hundreds of them popping up to assassinate our president, keep him out of here and there. This is major hate, and they're serious, meaning they'll do anything they can to disrupt this presidency. People need to stop hiding. We need to set examples, stand up, just like the 10 people at the airport that stood up against all those other protesters in LA, no less. There was 10 of them out there. It made the news. Of course it did. There's 10 against, thousands. At least they did it, and they set an example. Then more people did it around the country, started to do it. That's how this works. You know, some of the best things, you know, mostly the best things start with just an idea and a concept and someone doing something and standing up for it. And it goes viral. Even Milo tells you the same things. I'm telling you how bad it is with Muslims and Islam and what's going on here. Okay? Alex Jones tells you. But I go into more details on certain things. You know, this is what I go into, and I love the law, and I can tell you this is just making me and many, I'm talking thousands of other top, you know, and I'm not a top attorney, but or an attorney. I'm just, you know, I've studied the law on my own. My point being, it's making thousands of good attorneys and good judges cringe because they're watching our judicial process that's already was corrupt crumble before their eyes. That's how bad this is. The Ninth Circuit should have never even asked. I would have been like, this is irrelevant, Your Honor. Why are we talking about the facts of this order? Instead, need to talk about the four corners of the law on this order. Bad. DOJ sold them out. Just like you had Sally sell out and arrest. I'm telling you, they even questioned about Rudy Giuliani saying this and that. Ninth Circuit, pay attention, and you all know this is true. You shouldn't have even been questioning anything about Rudy Giuliani or what he said or how many Muslims from this country or that country. They're spinning it. You're supposed to be there not to create a new law, but to enforce the current law that's already there, which is crystal fucking clear. Crystal clear. It's the president. He has the right to use this executive order. And it doesn't matter what countries he deems. It doesn't matter if he deemed Pluto, the moon, and Saturn. He has the right. Because if there was an enemy threat from those planets, he has that right to do that, or for a security risk to the United States. And if you can't tell me, Your Honor, that there's not a security risk from erratic Islamic terrorists against the United States, then you need to come off the bench. And if you think that you could change the law, that's an executive executive law that Congress enacted for the president to use, you got rocks in your head. Corrupt piece of shit. Bruce, listen, I'll take some questions and then I'm going to go into something quick because I have a lot of work to do and I'm fired up and I'm getting our March stuff finished and I'm going to go into the March real quick. I'm going to take 3 or 4 questions. I'll answer them. And then, like I said, I have a lot of work to do tonight and I am fired up. And I'm going to go over some things about at the end of this having to do with our haters, and I have a very special show on MFA TV, and it'll only be on that. It'll come streaming to Facebook, then it'll be taken off Facebook, and that, because I'll explain to you what that is when I'm done. I don't have any time for their bullshit anymore either. Thank you, Leona. Thank you all for sharing and liking. Thank you for your support and donations. As I told you, our fund has been changed now, and we've added new perks. The membership cards are in there. I'm going to be showing those off as well. I'm just waiting for the printer to put the thing. It's beautiful, very nice. The printer's even $1,000 to print these. Our membership programs are getting up. Then part of that, you're going to be getting a welcome card. Within that is the membership card. You'll be getting a free American flag steel beautiful pin. You'll be getting an MFA sticker that goes with your membership. And that's just for both regular MFA and underground membership, which is a little different. With the underground, you'll be getting a t-shirt to go with it and then be part of that process. We are busting our ass here, and I'm getting tired of people on these haters and this, and it's no more. Just so you know, that's coming to a very fast end now. But I've had messages today from more people who've been new and come on here getting messages from MFA 17. I want everybody to know something. March for America 17 is not us. It doesn't have a check mark next to it. If it's not a check mark by us, it's not, the exception of our prayer group. Okay? Groups don't get check marks. MFA 17, March for America 16 are not us. You'll see our official logo that's trade here. You'll see our banners, everything it says, copyrighted, all rights reserved. This is us. If you receive messages, they're going out now, don't donate without contacting us and doing this. This is going to come to a very big end. And I'm going to do it live, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you why, what I'm doing tomorrow with my show, and I'm going to be doing it live. Hi, Tina, how are you? We are truly at war with these people. And as Laura Ingraham and Sean Hannity, he's actually the rerun, the repeat of the show is on now. I'm seeing it on the TV here. That Laura Ingraham said, and she told Trump's team this. She told Trump this after he was, sworn in and at inauguration. She told him, get ready for war every day coming against you. And that's what this is. And this is showing you how corrupt our country is. Federal judges have even turned against our Constitution. And when you have presidentially appointed federal judges turning against our Constitution, and this isn't the first, believe me, they do it on a regular basis. Not all of them. There's many good judges in the system. But there's many bad judges in the system that are biased and only for their party and for their own needs. Agenda 21. You got that right. I did a special show about Agenda 21. Hate against hate and against hate, and this is the division that they want. I mean, you're seeing lawsuits after law. You can't just keep suing the president for everything you don't like. It doesn't work that way. But you're going to clog the court system up with this shit? The courts need to stop it. Nope, not. Just like the judge in Massachusetts did. Nope, not. Nope, not. Pack your shit. Supreme Court will turn your shit away. Circuit Court should be turning this shit away. So we can get down to business and protect this country and make it great again. Because you know what? It's not great. It's it's horrible. It's bad. It is very, very bad. And it's shocking to see even the Ninth Circuit judges. These are presidentially appointed judges that know the law clearly. But the Ninth Circuit has always been, it's the most overturned circuit in the country. So most people take what they say with a grain of salt. Most judges, and I know this for a fact, if you go to do federal case and you're writing a brief or you're going to be doing something, you try to always cite. So say you're in the Third Circuit, right? We'll say that's New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Second Circuit is New York and up that way. Point being, you want to use the circuit, i.e. this district, and then the circuit that you're out to argue your cases in a brief. But at times you're still allowed to use other presiding decisions from other districts and circuits, like we'll say the Ninth Circuit. You always want to avoid, if you're a lawyer and you know what I'm saying, to avoid citing a case from the Ninth Circuit. It's either too far to the freaking wacky to the left or very bad. You don't want to use it because to the circuits that are good circuits that are not they look at the Ninth Circuit like, you guys are whacked. You're whacked. And these judges, the three of these, and it's just so you know, it can go before the full panel of there's 11. Yes, I know. New York just became a sanctuary state today. Here's the next thing. I told you yesterday. Sanctuary cities are going to be popping up like mad. They are defying the states, and this is where civil war is at. The states are defying federal laws. Fact. So the federal government, Trump doesn't need to threaten. I'm telling you, if he doesn't start to act and carry out on his promises to do this, to stop these people and cut their funding, he needs to cut their funding. The Republicans need to cut these sanctuary cities funding, and then you'll stop seeing them pop up all over the place. Because others will follow suit. They won't do it. They'll see, oh shit, how are we going to do this? We're going to lose all this. LA alone, Chicago will lose $700 million. New York is up there with that. No, maybe Chicago's no, that's LA. LA gets about 400 to 500 million. Chicago's at 700, I believe. New York is almost at $1 billion. They get a year from the government. Regardless, all these people jumping on this bandwagon better get ready to open their pockets, because when you don't and you lose like garbage pickup and you lose all these different programs that are federally funded in your city, guess what? For what? To protect some illegal aliens that shouldn't be there to begin with? Come on. Examples need to be made, and made fast. Yes, Carolyn, cut them off at the knees. Yes, Outlaw and I are close. Outlaw Morgan, I'm going to be inviting him to our march in April. You'll be seeing a lot of this stuff tonight, tomorrow, for the march. You're going to be seeing several posters. You're going to show you how to volunteer and where to reach to. If you want to have a march in your state, it'll explain to you how, how you do it, and what's involved. We've been working on this, and I need to wrap it up. I had to take care of some things in court today with haters, and I want to talk to you this. No, Sessions can't stop this, but Sessions can get the right attorneys within the Department of Justice to argue this the right way so this shit can get thrown out. And they need to be prepared for the Supreme Court now. You don't wait. In law, in situations like this, just like Laura Ingraham said, she said, as soon as this judge filed this, the Department of Justice should have filed in every district court. I mean, just hit them all across the country and filed, okay, to argue this. And you can bring it before the court and argue, so you'll get decisions in favor of Trump and use them for prior arguments. Because there's no jurisdiction here. There's nobody been harmed, and there's not even a writ of habeas corpus. The only thing you can bring is that if, say, I'm from Iran, I come in, I have a visa, I'm detained in this, just like the two Iranians did. You can use the writ of habeas corpus that still is in effect, and that they've even tried, just so you know, and they've limited that, which nothing should ever stop a writ of habeas corpus. But under Obama and even under Clinton, other presidents have made that to even take that away from the right of people, and you can't stop. Statutory, it's clear, constitute the law and the statutes underneath that you cannot. But they've made it so limited in certain situations to use the writ of habeas corpus to begin with. Okay, but if you're wrongfully detained, you can use a writ of habeas corpus to say I'm wrongfully detained, and you can go after that. Fine, but that judge doesn't have jurisdiction to put a complete ban across the country. This is limited to the cases where somebody was harmed, okay, or alleged to be harmed. And even then, just so you know, under this writ of habeas corpus, it has no standing if they are visa or green card holder immigrants. Because under this executive order, the president has the right to stop entry from anyone he deems a security threat to this country. Fact. That's a matter of law, not a matter of this bullshit spin they want to put on it and have been putting on it. And these judges are not stupid. They picked that circuit. Phone calls were made. This is a complete sellout. The only time you can use a nuclear option is with the Supreme Court. Yes, understand this, because, I mean, this is just... yes, I can, Samantha. Yes, Grace, all visas need to be revoked ASAP. Sessions has no jurisdiction over the Department of Justice until he's confirmed, America. Understand this. If out of any of this, I hope everyone's getting a lesson, and not just for me, but for many others who are telling you the truth and bringing these facts to you. to see how corrupt our country is, number one, how divided, sadly, how divided it is. And this is all the result of this Democratic Party that is like parasitical and needs to go away. They should deem them, I'm telling you, I mean, they are wantingly and willfully doing this to destroy this Donald Trump and thus this country without giving a care to the security of this country or to the Constitution of this country. They're shitting all over it. Excuse my French, but that's what they're doing. And they're putting our country at risk when they do it. And other countries are looking at this like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Let's take advantage of this. And if you don't think that ISIS has people and others, including refugees from other countries, and immigrants, taking advantage of this ban while it's lifted, so they know that they got to get in here. They'll use fake visas, green cards, and believe me, it's very easy to do. And they've even proved that they have found that ISIS and all of them have access to these in several strongholds and compounds that they have, gone into. Special forces have gone into, or they bombed and thereafter checked them out. Point of fact, this is not a game. So you get the wrong people, and I'm telling you now, they're streaming in. And it's on these judges' heads, but they don't care. I'm telling you, this is how the elite globalists, these people are caring, oh my God, these poor Muslims. And this is not against good, I'm just telling you, Islam needs to stop. United States needs to go, oh my God, we built this, no, not. And the last time I checked, and I'm going to say it every time, I don't see people from Ireland, from Switzerland, from Sweden, from Poland, from any other country we allow to come in this country, yelling Allah Akbar and running around and blowing shit up and killing people and, going after nightclubs and gays and lesbians and, everything. Last time I checked, I don't see that. Okay? I don't see that. But I do see a bunch of straight asshole, freak, sadistic jihadists corrupting even our children, corrupting our country, toting around the Quran like it's freaking, hey, oh, follow this. Our own prison systems are riddled with Muslims and current converts. Now, the real true Muslim faith does not have, radical, they do not believe in radical Islamic, but the spread of Islam is what their main agenda is here. It's not even the spread of terrorism, it's the spread of Islam. And they're invading Europe with it as we speak. Okay? And Soros, he is the puppet for the Rothschild family. And the others in between he deals with as well. But he's truly just the front man for these. And this is where, this is leaving the United States in a very, very bad situation. Yes, Michelle. How long do I think it'll take for the proper vetting procedure? You know what? Right now, it's going to take a little while because we're short-handed in this country. Obama has left this country stripped on major, serious, and very serious areas of government, including that with Homeland Security, Border Patrol agents, even ATF. Everybody is without, the FBI even, to investigate terrorism and so many cases across the board. They are short-handed as well. And then you got a bunch of them that are in there that are worthless and sellouts and holdouts for Obama and others. Okay? The point is, this is much worse, and I know Trump knows it, much worse than they could ever have imagined. And as I said, this is going to take a little while. And even though he's instructed Homeland Security and Kelly to say, hey, listen, I want to make the vetting process stiffer and stronger, and they have the right to do that. Now watch, that'll be the next thing challenged. It's like these people, it is like the left just doesn't care what happens in our country, and obviously they do not care about shit. They don't care, as I said, open your doors, Nancy Pelosi, leave them wide open. Okay? Leave your doors wide open. Go hang out at the airport, pack your shit and go, why don't you go hang out over in Iraq? So we'll just say, Nancy Pelosi, you can pick out Hillary Clinton. You're an Islam lover, Hillary. You practice Islam as well and share a law. Why don't you go pack your shit and go hang out, go hang out in Iraq. Go pick up a chair, plop your fucking fat ass in the middle of the desert, and, just hang out there and let's see how long you last. Let's see how long you last. Get the fuck out of here. These people make me sick. They're not even politicians. They are a disgrace even to politics. Politics is one thing when you're going to be, it's expected of certain things, but what's going on here and what's gone on through this entire presidential campaign and then after and then now since he's become president is a disgrace. Exactly, Grace, without their Secret Service to protect her. Chuck Schumer, hey, my man, why don't you do the same? Not. These people are brain dead, and they got one thing on their mind. Power, control, and the Democrats have destroyed this country since its inception all the way back to Native Americans. Native Americans, African Americans. The list is endless. Hispanic community. They use them up, and this is why they want immigrants in this country, and they want Muslims in this country. You want to know why? They use them for the vote and to control, and then that's it. They don't do anything for them. And they want them to be dependent. Here, come over. Here you go. It's like Obama bringing in 100,000, immigrants last year. It's like Canada, get ready. Your borders are going to be streaming because the deal's been cut with the UN and George Soros for 300,000 of these refugees a year. So get ready, and you're going to watch terrorist acts start to take place. Guaranteed. You're going to start to see acts of terrorism on Canadian soil. Serious ones. Hi, Rick. How are you? Yes, they think it's cool to protest, and so they can brag, as somebody pointed out, so they can brag to their friends and say, oh my God, look what I did. Running around, walking vaginas. That does what? But you know what? They're getting recognized, the movement's getting bigger, and these are controlled. These are the next voters for the next election, so pay attention. And we're still basically 4 years away for the next election. But they're going to be using this, and I'm telling you, they're giving it, they want 6 months to 12 months to force Trump out, set Trump up to get out, and or set him up to impeach him or go after him. And if you see how the federal judges are ruling now, what do you think Congress and other people are going to be doing in this? Because there's sellouts in there. There are these people from Paul Ryan. If I was Donald Trump, I'd never trust fucking Paul Ryan with anything. John McCain, there's a bunch of them. And Obama's sitting back at home. Hey, he's still acting as president, trust me. He's sitting out wherever he is. He's still getting the phone calls on a secure line. He's still doing his thing. In contact with Hillary Clinton, Soros. This is a fact. This is a bad James Bond movie. I mean, that's what this is. Very bad. And you're going to need more than James Bond to come in and fix this shit. Yes, Bruce. Hillary's America is a very insightful movie. I don't know why more people have not watched it or taken the time out to watch it, because you should. And you should watch the movie he made before that got him wrongfully locked up. Him and I have a lot in common, how this happened to him and how he's a victim of corruption for standing up. And it's Obama 16 is the name of the movie. And he predicted, if you watch this movie, he made this movie before Obama, years before, and it's to the T what he's put in there of how Obama would turn out by 2016, and then how Hillary's America takes off and goes, and it's a must watch. McCain is a complete sellout. McCain is a traitor and no war hero, and Donald Trump called that one right. I'm going to tell you all something. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a show on McCain because I'm going to tell you something. John McCain and guess who? John Kerry profited after McCain came back as a prisoner of war. John McCain, and you Google this, John McCain, John Kerry, Hanoi, okay? Hanoi, just that. You can just Google those three words, Hanoi, or Vietnam, whatever you want to say, okay? They made a killing off off Hanoi and these secret operations that they were doing and the likes. Just Google it. You'll see it, and it's factual information you're going to read. This man, John Kerry as well, these people are globalists. And McCain even more now because through Joe Lieberman, he's gotten closer to the Rothschild family because Joe Lieberman's a point man for the Rothschild family and the Council of Foreign Relations on our soil. And Council of Foreign Relations is the front for, we'll say, the shadow government, so to speak. The real Monchert, yes. I'm telling you, the only way to get rid of these people, okay, and to stop these people is for acute unity and people getting together and not just, I don't mean just protests, okay? I'm talking complete unity, and this can be done easy. I hate people, this is so complicated. What do you got to do? It's not complicated for them. It's really not, because they want it that bad. They are such believers in this, that Donald Trump is evil, that they're, Hillary Clinton is the best thing that, since sliced fucking bread. Elizabeth Warren's up there, the Women's March, all these people got duped. All these women running around looking retarded, okay? And just so you know, those shirts that I just showed you are not for our march. Everything is red, white, and blue for our march, and there's going to be several different styles of things, but they're all going to be sort of matching and go with it. And one of the things is classy, not nasty. Classy, not nasty. And you hear Ashley Judd, oh, I'm one nasty woman. Yeah, you are, Ashley. You are one nasty woman. Obama, another nasty woman. Wonder how many words. Hi, Luella. I want to know. Thank you, Luella. I want to know how many times Madonna said the word pussy. But she's up there arguing about it with Trump. Okay. Right, Madonna. You a straight hoe. Classy, not nasty. Yes, Karen, you're very correct. Hi, Eileen. How are you? Yes, Jane Fonda. I agree. Now, a couple things. Haters update. If you have not joined March for America's live stream, I'm suggesting you do. There's a link for it up above this video. All of our events are done in there, and they stream to here, and now I can multi-stream. The only thing with Facebook, Facebook hasn't allowed multi-streaming from multiple platforms because Zuckerberg's trying to hold it all for his own, but we can do all at the same time, like Facebook Live, Periscope, and another. However, with that, like I have in there, like the all about our haters, who they are, special other documents and things. And right now, we're working on dealing with the criminal aspect and going after them. I'm not taking the time away from the very important things of MFA and that, which I'm doing. I'm just using the court and doing that. And tomorrow, okay, on live, on my hater update, okay, I am going to call right on the phone and also show you the complaints. I'm going to call right on the phone to the jurisdiction of the top few haters, and report the criminal activity right to them at them, as that's been continuing up as till we speak, along with giving those authorities the case information here and the criminal information on those complaints there, because I'm going to force a complaint, file the official complaints right on the thing. I'm going to let you even hear it. Okay? I'm going to let you hear it on who it's for. And the first one on the list is for the one who was recently arrested for acute harassment. And her picture will be being put up, jumpsuit and all, and those even attached with her. And you will be seeing me call the sheriff's department in her jurisdiction and filing the official, they're filed here, okay? And she can't even check, just so you know. She can't find out anything until it's time for this to be released. So I don't care what they sell you. But you're going to watch me do it. You're going to hear me do it. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you and do it right on with a true, legitimate criminal complaint, and send them right over copies of everything that we have from the complaint here. And I'm going to ask for her to be arrested for acute harassment, and that she's already in their computer system for it previously. And for all you newcomers, MFA 17 is not our page. We have an official check march. We are MFA March for America Inc., a nonprofit out of Arizona. We are waiting for a 501(c)(3). We are raising money. We do it legitimately. We sell different items. We do that. Just so you know, Wilbur has been put out to say for them to come buy stuff from us to see. Wilbur, you want people to sell me, to take them on? I'll be happy to see how fast they get stuff. I mean, I can give you boxes of stuff and show you, stuff comes out. If it's from our other t-shirt, our main t-shirt company, they have to process them and they go right to them, and then we get the how it works. That's it. Anybody else, I have hundreds and hundreds of people who get their stuff. These people are grasping at straws, and it's coming to an end. So if you get harassed, they've been saying, don't donate, don't do this, don't do that. Listen, if you get contacted by them from that MFA 17 page, and I know it's happened up to recent, they'll see you as a new person. They come and attack you. And we already know, just so volunteers pay attention, I already know who the sellout is and the volunteers. Okay? And know that you're attached to certain, on that side, you're getting a criminal complaint too, because this whole thing is going to be charged as not just individually, but that as a criminal conspiracy to harm and interfere with the corporation and the like, which is acute stalking and harassment. None of these idiots seem to understand statutory law, and even in their states it's different than it is here. And each state is wonderful, because you can file a complaint here, which they'll have to answer, and then you file in their state that they're harassing you and send them the proof of what they're doing, and they can be charged there as well. As you can see, I'm wearing one of our new t-shirts, my Pack Your Shit t-shirts. They go in the store. You'll have them up tonight or tomorrow morning. They're in black. Oh, there goes the box. One of the boxes. They're in gray. These are very nice, and they're all Gildans. We also have them in the crackle, like the distressed. Yeah, I like this shirt a lot. I'm very happy with it. You can see. It's even got my signature at the bottom. There's going to be a whole Pack Your Shit line: t-shirts, hats, hoodies, all cool stuff. All of our new stuff is coming out. I'm telling you, I'm going to give it. I decided I'm going to give it from today till Sunday in our store. That anything is in there right now, including I'm even giving the new jackets. They're 25% off. After that, they're going up because there's a big demand for the jackets. All the jackets just came in and they're going through the embroidery. It's a 4-step process for our jackets. So if you order a jacket, as soon as they're finished, you'll be getting them out with your name, and I'll be showing those as well. our new shirts that come in white, and we're doing a military colors like this for MFA. So these will come. They come in white, white, gray. This military khaki. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. And then this color I like, and there's hats, military type hats going with it. This is the other color. This is just a print. It's not a. This is just the other one. And none of this has to do with our march. This is just March for America stuff. Stainless steel travel mugs are coming. Glass, nice stuff. Here's the gray. Pack your shit with the distressed. And my favorite of all, this is for the ladies, and these are starting to go like crazy. This is a hoodie from them. They all came in. So any ladies, just so you know, I put the post up earlier. If you didn't see it, I can't stand this lights doing this thing. See that? If I raise my hands up, I apologize. It's this camera. Damn it. But anyway, this is one of the hoodies. Not my march. They don't speak for me. And this is not part of our march wear. Everything for that is red, white, and blue. Meaning you'll have white, blue, that, and even combo of red, white, and blue. From jackets to windbreakers to hats to sweatshirts. So these will all be going out. I got boxes of them. And I want to thank everybody, the women, for those orders. We have boxes of them. Elaine, pack your shit shirt, come in brown. Yeah, we can do them in brown. I could do them in a nice, rich, dark brown as well. Not a problem. Yeah, and Antoinette, the hoodies are very nice. This is there's women's tank tops with this. These are already in the store. These guys, and these, just so you know, if you put in MFA 25, I even have these at 25% off, and these are brand new. And I just have everything in the store at 25% because this weekend it's all being redone. Our store. Wait till you see this. Okay. So this is the T-shirt. There's tank tops with this as well. There's a V-neck. This is a regular woman's cut T-shirt. And we have some, these are, trying to find the V-neck. I've got boxes of them. Maybe I didn't open that box, but and just so you know, these come in pack your shit, comes in V-necks as well. And we're offering now in all of our lines a premium USA t-shirt. All USA. These are our new patches that are going in. Okay. These are heat on, you could sew on, and then you're gonna see a whole new hat line coming out. Our other line, I mean, lots of good stuff coming out. And our disaster relief line is coming out. Very, really cool shit. And we're also going to be doing special military bomber jackets. Cool stuff. I mean, sweatpants. And then that whole line will be that. Now, enough with that stuff. Whoops. About this march. You'll see we put up one of the first banners for it. There are going to be several different banners that go with this because it is a joint Millions United for Trump and Pence march in D.C. on April 22nd. We have permits for in front of the Capitol and the mall area right there, the main, right where Donald Trump was inaugurated. And then from the Capitol to march with police escort, no matter how many are there, because no matter if there's a million people there, to go all the way to the White House. There will be speakers set up there, meaning for public speakers. We have to rent a stage, all this kind of stuff. You're going to see all this in this breakdown in the fund as well as the website and the event. If you want an event and it's going to be across the country on the same day, if you want to do an event in your city, in a city near you or a town near you, I prefer you do a city or the capital, okay? Then you'll be able to go on there and it'll say how to create a march for your area. Just follow the instructions and we'll help you along the way. And then all volunteers that going with this march will have a forum area and a group set up, a private group set up in Facebook to talk amongst themselves, as well as I had bought this volunteer software. I'm taking the time to do this other stuff, but I have to set up with some finish setting up, I should say, this incredible $5,000 volunteer software. It's the same stuff that like Red Cross uses everything to do. And all volunteers can talk in the background, control their stuff, hold events, raise money by them, do all this kind of stuff. I'm very serious about this march. There's a few hundred volunteers. If you want to volunteer, bring them, because volunteers are serious about this. The Americans who are serious about standing up to stopping this on the left side and to support their president and show this support. And part of the page that's coming with this is going to be, did you vote for Donald Trump? Did you vote for Donald Trump? And you have to put in your name and email. We do not, you'll see this disclosure. We do not sell it like change.org. We're not going to give it away. It's going to show right in there. Okay? I'm very serious about this, and I've had enough. Meaning, it's time for America to do, to stand up and take America back. Let's right now, making it great again is part of. It's time to take America back from this left, liberal, globalists that are going nutty in our country. They're out of control and peaceful. It is Earth Day, but it has nothing to do. We have the only permit for the Capitol in front of the Capitol for that day. I don't care. I'm tired of what people say. People say this, the press says that, this says that. Stick to the facts. Period. I don't care if it's Groundhog Day, Earth Day. Guess what? It's going to be Trump Day, Ladies' Day. On top of that, there's two marches combined together. Yes, Christians for MFA are part of this. Christians need to stand up. Okay? Jews need to stand up. This is not just against, just Christians. It's against Judaism as well. They're screwing Israel bad. It's Trump protecting Israel right now. And the UN they don't care. I mean, they're going to try to push for a second Palestinian state and vote it in. Yes, Brian, take America back. And there is a shirt coming for that. It's part of that whole line. Take America back. Millions unite. Take America back. Millions unite for Trump. Pence is the first, that's the more. And then there's ladies unite for Trump Pence as well. Classy, not nasty. They don't speak for me. Yeah, I know, Elaine. Yes, Alexander, I fully agree. All right, Mary. Thank you. So, all right, guys, it's already 2 o'clock. But understand this, and I can assure you it's probably going to come down. We'll see how right I am, a 2-1 decision on the appellate court. We're getting lots of positive feedback about this march, and that's why we threw up one of these banners, and they're going to be altered a little bit too. You will see a email address on there. You're going to see the 1-800 number on there to call for to that, to be involved, and the websites for the marches as well. Oh, thank you, Sandy. We can have, yes, Leona, we can make stress balls. Yes, Pam, very good question. When we do chapters for other countries, yes, they will be all to help your country with your serious political issues and corruption in your own country, and the liberalism you want to call. as well, like in that, as well as America. So it's a joint effort. We want this to become, and not globalist, but to stand up to the globalists around the country. Bumper stickers we already have. Those stickers will be going in the store with the patches. Hard hat stickers. You'll see a whole new hat. All this stuff is slowly coming in that what I've been working on and getting, done. Good night, Michelle. Bradley, I'm talking to I'll leave off the name of the organization, the manufacturer. They're thinking about and getting one donated, a vehicle donated for MFA, wrapped in cool MFA, cool stuff. That's part of what membership is with our cards. And they now are been added, and we've changed around our growth fund on Razor Fund, because when you become a member, a lifetime member of MFA, not the underground now, it's totally different, but with MFA, the reason why we have magnetic strip built into the cards is because the goal is with our website, and as we keep expanding it to get businesses to, and we have what's called the MFA Business Network, so that we can help people across America, can help businesses grow and get discounts and things of that nature by using and presenting your MFA card. When I say this is going to grow, people say, it's kind of funny. I had a hater on, oh yeah, you say over 1 million. I'm going to tell you something. When I quit school and I was homeless and didn't have anything, had a horrible childhood, I told people, I said, you know what, I'm going to be a self-made millionaire by the time I'm 23. By the time I'm in my early 20s. They said, yeah, you're crazy, Scott. You don't have anything, you don't have this, you don't have that. Okay? Let me tell you something. Positive energy and determination and knowing what you're doing can get you anything. It's all about how you feel, how you think, and what you think is what becomes. Understand this. And sure enough, with hard work, determination, and my mindset, I overcame that horrible childhood and being homeless, and was a very successful construction corporation on Long Island, extremely successful. Been on many magazines. Some of them I can't even get a hold of back then from the time, and newspaper articles about it. But I have several up on our Mansions and Estates INTL.com site, scottbinsack.com. There's a bunch of links to our website above. My book site is above. You can check that link. My point being, they said, no, you can't do that. When somebody tells me no, I can't do that or I can't achieve that, that just makes me want to do it even more. To prove them wrong, that I believe Americans can unite to stand up just like these pillow biting, vagina dressing, you know what I mean, crayon holding, Muslim loving, nasty women did across this country and around the world. If that can ignite, then the positiveness and the good energy of that for Christianity, for Israel, for the protection of our Constitution, the support of Donald Trump and Mike Pence and Vice President Pence can surely be achieved. This is not rocket science. You either believe and you want to help, or you don't. And I believe there's millions and millions of Americans that want to help and want to do it. Yes, Gina, I know. They're thinking, well, a lot of that stuff we know everything that's going on their page. And the main, just so you know, there's one puppet behind the couple at the top. And there's a couple puppets behind the one, but I'm cutting the head off his snake. Okay, and if she thinks I'm kidding, the few of them there, you got another thing coming, and this starts after that was there today. You can keep putting up all this alleged personal shit you have of me. Supposedly now there's a marriage license, sometimes all kinds of shit. These people are nuts. And believe me, the authorities look at this. This woman, Dana, is obsessed. Dawn is obsessed. Christine is obsessed. These people are obsessed. This isn't about, putting out public information. This is obsession. This is criminal stalking and harassment. and reaching out to people, just so you know, and saying, by the way, we're MFA 17, don't donate, don't do this, start harassing people, interfering with my corporation and the people who built this over lies and hate, you're not going to work. It's not going to work. And just, I'm telling you, Dana, you got rocks in your head. Pam, you got rocks in your head too, sweetheart. Ryan, you too. Pay attention. You're going to get schooled, and it's in the works. And it's happening fast. I got a special show tomorrow. It's a very special show. And I'm going to do some things right on the phone so the world can hear it and hear what the authorities have to say and give them the proof right then and there about what's the criminal here to there and file it even in that jurisdiction. So they can go knock on your door and say, excuse me, we have a complaint that you are harassing from this page, this thing. We have the evidence. Here it is. And we also have another complaint that's been filed in another jurisdiction against you. And oh, wait, in Dana's case, you've been previously arrested for this type of harassment, haven't you? Oh, yes, you have. I don't care what they put up about me. Jesus Christ. Listen, they put up I fuck goats. I could care less. I don't care what they say. They're delusional. Every time they put something up, I show the proof back to it. I don't have no time anymore. I don't care. They're going to get schooled now legally and publicly. And then, once the complaints are finished, as they are here, they're going right to the press, the local press in their communities. And they're on a website. And I know they say, oh, he hasn't done it yet. No. Wilbur! Dana! I can't wait. I cannot wait. Because if anybody deserves it, you people do. You have harmed my family. You've harmed MFA's name. You've harmed my daughter. You've harmed her mother. You think the stress of all this crap that you try to do and it's false bullshit and trying to say you're protecting the world and want to stop people from being conned and this, you sound just like a liberal that's after Donald Trump, spreading fake news and horrible hatred, calling him a con, a fraud, a this, a that, a blah, 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 blah. Not. Just like Outlaw spanked you the other night and you were like, oh, Scott made up fake profiles. That wasn't me out there. Oh, yes, it was. And you don't like it. Oh, Outlaw's a good guy. No, you got ripped to shreds. Loser. I thought he was already off there, Lisa. Yes, Laura, they sound just like Trump haters. No, these people are sick. They're not well. They're not well. And we'll see what the authorities have to say when I cut them on the phone in the local, especially about a few of the top ones. Especially the one with the record for previous harassment. And the one behind MFA 17. Well, she's just a puppet for some people behind there. And I know who those people are behind there. Including that of a newspaper reporter. Or a wannabe one anyway. Oh yeah, I thought he was off. Thank you, Mary. I tried to tell everybody, that's Wilbur's best buddy, Matt. Matt is in a psychiatric facility, dangerous, contacts women, stalks them. He did it to Christine. He's done it, I believe, with Dawn. I believe, I'm just telling you, and other females that are part of this, these people are dangerous. That's why I tell you, ladies, if you don't know the man on Facebook and you don't really know who they are, do not accept from or their Facebook pages. You got to look at their page. If it's a fresh new page, if they have a lot of posts that have and they have very small amounts of friends, or if they even have their posts don't have a lot of likes, you got to look at all these things. And there's another way to tell if it's fake as well. But point being, you be very careful who you friend. They'll tell you they're the greatest Christians. They'll tell you this. They'll tell you that. Just be very, very careful. Yes, Brad, we have beanies, hats. You'll see all they're done. I mean, we have to just take special photographs of them, and put them in. Pamela, he stalked me too in the middle of the night and messaged you in Australia. See, Pamela, where's Liz? Cheryl said he wanted him to call you as well. Yes, Deborah, block these people. Block these people. If you see anything with MFA 17, MFA Mafia, MFA 16, and it comes through your messenger or to you, block them. Okay? And report and block. Report and block, report and block. But I can assure you with what we're sending to Facebook, as I promised this week, to the board of directors, and well, with legal, as well as to Facebook itself, security, those pages will be removed. Sometimes it takes Facebook a little while to do something because they're extreme. You're dealing with a big computer, more so than you are bodies. Thank you, Carol, very much. Oh, Pamela, Liz got a meeting today. Okay. Yes, Anthony, sweats with pockets. Oh, Lisa, yes. Your scarf, I believe, when my daughter sent it out tonight, I think, or just so you know, anyone I gave away. All right, how's this? Tonight, before I go, make a bobblehead with Hillary Clinton. Yes, people spread the word, Mary. Sweats are coming. Sweats are coming down the leg. Very cool MFA. Even with Packers, you're going to see a lot of cool stuff. But this stuff takes time, and I'm looking for, just so you know, if you know merchandising or any type of marketing with clothing and that, please contact me if you can volunteer, because our store is going to be bigger. The items are going to be much more, meaning much different versions. And I'm redoing the whole store. It'll be the same address, shopmfa.org, but wait till you see what we're putting together. You'll be able to shop off Instagram, and we just created our official MFA Pinterest account for all the ladies, as well as it's going to be for not just clothing and cool things, but all different photos. We're going to start to get into really nice doing photos of positive things across the United States and the world. Start to do uplifting things and unifying things and that kind of positive quotes and good stuff. And they'll have MFA's trademark and things on them. Yes. Yeah, Eileen, a bobblehead of Wilbur with a drink in your hand. All right, tonight I'm going to give away 3 Pack Your Shit t-shirts. Yes, Bradley, those are coming too. Yes, with Amazon. You can already... yes, Cheryl, it's very smart. Do not accept friends, people you do not know. If your friend... And to be careful, a lot of Facebook fakes will make friends. If they're going to target you, so to speak, like the ones that try to target me, they come in, they'll get several of my mutual friends to friend them first, so that they think that, we have mutual friends and that I'm just going to accept them. Not. Okay? So that's what they'll do as well. There's a whole pattern of things to look for, and we happen to have software that was created in Israel, and it's anti-fake Facebook software. You put their name and scan it scans their page, and will scan and say fake, yes or no, and it works. So I'm going to be giving 3 of these away. And you can tell me what color you want, ladies. I don't care, and men, whatever you want. Whether you want gray. This is distressed with my signature. This is the regular. And they're in white, black, gray, navy. But I like the white and gray. The thing. And the white looks cool with the black as well. Not the black one I was wearing the other day. That's different. That was a test one. Leona, I believe you should have your scarf. Everybody's scarves are out except for like 7 orders of scarves. And get yours while you can. There's only a couple left of each kind. They're 25. Everything's 25% off, and they're really nice. If you haven't seen them, they're in our store. Thanks, Carol. Cheryl Costello, I'm going to give you one, sweetie. You've been a great follower for a very long time, and you're very outspoken. So Cheryl, I gotta make, ladies, just do me a favor, men. If I say yes, if I say yes to you, just message me on here so I don't forget. I don't want to forget who I gave it to, and it's not deliberate. Yes, Pamela, good point about these shirts. These are our new MFA look shirts. I'll do them. They're white. They're the whole white series. There's white. There's this very cool khaki color that I like. This military sand. These in white look beautiful, and they're hoodies. And these are top quality. We also have a full USA T-shirt coming. They're a little more money, but they're full USA. None of these are made in China. So this is a port. This is the port company. And I believe this is one of the full. Right. None of them come from China. These are all from either the USA. This is a premium USA T-shirt right here. They're different, but the colors are. This is our flag in white. The white ones are very nice. V-necks, hoodies, everything. And then you're going to see our March line come out, and then you're going to see polo shirts are coming, and we're also getting involved with LL Bean to support LL Bean. We're going to get LL Bean. It's a lot of stuff from them that's going to have MFA on it to help support LL Bean and them us, because LL Bean has been going through a lot of trouble for being, Trump supporters. So, yes, camo. Okay, we're going doing the whole camo line. My daughter came up with this, and even the camo, the very cool hats that are distressed that go with this look. So I'll give some of those away too tonight as well. All right. Let me get a pen on. Let me get a pen, but don't forget to contact me and give it to me, or the volunteers could keep track. Just let me get a pen though. Somewhere here. I got so many boxes of clothes going on here, so I got them all over the floor. And normally we've started now to go, we're looking for office space, production space. We're going to turn it into a full studio for guests, and then volunteers in this northeast area. And then this is how we're going to set up areas. And we want this, it's really cool what we're doing. It just takes time, people. I mean, and thanks to you, we're doing this. Lucille, I love the white one as well. The white one is very cool. I don't even have one. I don't have those with me. Anyway, if I give you something, just message me with it. I'm gonna start giving away tomorrow night. I'll start giving away some patches and stickers and all this stuff. Okay. Leona, you just have to go to shopmfa.org. Maybe one of the volunteers will put the link. There is a link in the written part above the video always, but it's shopmfa official. Shopmfa.org. Hi, Elaine. Your mom's birthday was 77 on February 2nd. Tell her happy birthday for me. Elaine, send me your mom's name, and I'll send her out a regular MFA shirt in white. Those will take about those. Any of this line right here takes about 2 weeks to get, though. Just so you know that. I mean, we only have X amount of stock, but the rest they take about 2 weeks. Those are digitally screen printed. These are full screen printed. That's a digital screen print. There's two different kinds. There's many of those. Lorna, the site has other things with no curse words on it. We have lots of stuff that have nothing. This is the only thing that has a curse word on it. Our stuff is very nice and classy and okay. I'm trying to find a freaking pen. I just had a pen. It's hang on. Oh, there it is. I knew I had it. Okay. All right, let's see. I got a pen now. Okay. Pamela, I'm sorry. You know Australia is like, whew. Sandy, that will be up. The event for the March, the calendar invite will be up tonight on the event page, on event, and then there's a website going with that, with our event. It's awesome. We're almost finished with it. Okay. Thanks, Jan, very much. All right, so the first one I gave away was pack your shit. I'm gonna make notes myself, but just guys, message me with your address so I can do that. One of those. Thanks, Monica. I appreciate you keeping track. Leah, you want an American flag one? Good night, Mike. Elizabeth, it has to do with the pedophiles having to do in this whole human trafficking. You're not going to see a lot of that take place until Sessions is in. Thank you, Bradley, very much. Christine, you want a flag shirt? All right, Christine, I'll send you a flag shirt. Christine Monroe, Maria, so you know. That's a flag. Just tell me what color you want. Carol, yes, we're going to be having purses, wallets. I'm even we're getting involved with name brand companies to do combined. Like I'm reached out to, I have a client that does Louis Vuitton stuff, as well, really cool stuff. And then we got a lot of stuff coming. Bradley, my man, I'll send you a pack your shit t-shirt. You like the one I have on? You're always a great follower. Yes, Leah Maywort, you can have one as well. Thank you, Bradley. Hi, Ken. How are you? Bradley, thank you very much, sir, for all your support. Yes, Michael. We also have Kurt. I'll give you a pack your shit t-shirt as well, buddy. And you want black? You just got to when you send us your information, just say your size, what kind of shirt you want, or what I said it was okay. And the girls, we're coming out with a full protection line, so you know, for preppers as well. I mean, really cool stuff. And good branded stuff that's going to have MFA. And you're going to see within a week, you're going to see the whole underground stuff start to pop up everywhere. MFA underground. Where do you see that stuff? It's very cool. Thank you, Sandy. Yes, Kenneth. Good night, Sherry. Thank you. Do my Pelosi impression. Nancy Pelosi. Did you see her tonight? Or today, whatever it was about Bush. Nancy Pelosi. Wow. She's like got one foot in the grave, Nancy Pelosi. She reminds me of one of those Slee Stacks. She reminds me of one of the Slee Stacks, if you remember that show. What was it? Herman and the Munsters? No, what was that? Land of the Lost. And that goes right with the Democratic libs. Land of the Lost, the Slee Stacks. It's Nancy Pelosi. Mary, Kenneth Scott. I'm missing what he's saying. I don't see it, and I'm not on my. I can't spin it. It won't allow me to go up and down on my thing because I'm not on my iPad. I'm shooting into Linda Matavia, I want to say your name the right way. I would love to give you a shirt, Linda. You've always been a great supporter. Thank you, Linda, very much. We'll send us your info. Oh no, Gina, they're not. Yeah, instead. Waters is going in. Russia invaded North Korea. Yeah, sure they did. Oh my God, these people are mad. Madness, complete madness. Good night, Mary. Thank you. Eileen, yes, that I like. Pack your shit. Hillary Chai Tea. Yeah, Hillary's Chai Tea. She walks in, that's the best. And then people go, that's a doctored video. That's not really Hillary. She's not having any problems. As she comes in and she's like, try the chai tea. And she's just like, you know. I'm like, for real? Yeah. And there's a reporter right in front of her. And she's just like, as her head is like seizing out. I hate to say this. I mean, it's the truth. She had seizure disorder. She has a seizure disorder. She's even had surgery. Just so you all know, she's had surgery for a serious blood clot in her brain. Mary, okay, give Kenneth Scott a shirt. He's always been wonderful. Yes, please give. I want to give Kenneth a shirt. He's been a very long time follower, good man. Thanks, Kenneth. And you even have the MFA logo on your thing. I like that. Yes, she did scare the reporter. She's like this, chai tea. And she's just, and then she's like, come on. That's like her getting into the van at 9/11, into the Scooby van, you know? Everybody thinks that she passed out. No, she was seizing and her legs locked up. And I, as a child, grew up, my great aunt suffered from severe mental retardation. And my great grandmother, she was my great aunt, instead of putting her into a home, she kept her home and took care of her whole life. And I grew up with that, and I grew up with seeing people and seeing her have seizures at times and things. It was very sad. But I know when someone's having a seizure. I know when their legs go and how they are and how they limp and how they go, you know, and then they start to move. Anytime, Kenneth. Yeah, Gloria, she had pneumonia, all right. Yep. Just like Wilbur's an undercover for Child Protective Services. Dun, 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 dun. More like on their most wanted list. Pow! Wilbur! Wilbur's telling people to go after our volunteers and to buy, you know, stuff to see how fast it comes, this, that, and the other thing. Pack your shit, Wilbur. You're an old man you're an old pedo that needs to be sent out to pasture. You know? Just. Yeah, I know. Seizures are very scary, and you know, but like I said, I grew up with it as the great grandson. So I would go out to the house that my great grandmother and grandparents had a house in the Hamptons in Hampton Bays, and we'd go out there, and it was great summers and things there, and it was probably that area, that beach on the Peconic Bay was probably my only peaceful. Like, I loved that. It was peaceful for me, except when you went back in the house at times, it was like madness. But my great grandmother, and I have to give her a lot of credit, she dedicated her life to taking care of her daughter, and you know, she suffered from acute mental retardation, and she kept her out of those very bad facilities back then, and took care of her at home. And it was a lot. It was a very big sacrifice, but I could always, you know, I saw it all the time, you know, when she went into these things. And at first it's scary, and then they had always that thought that you would swallow your tongue, and back then you'd have to think that they kept saying, doctor, you could swallow your tongue. You cannot swallow your tongue, everybody, but you can bite on your tongue in a seizure and bite it, and harm your tongue, but you cannot swallow your tongue, just so everybody knows that. Hi, Mike. Thank you, Mary Little, very much. Pam, very sorry. Yes, Lynn, that's a very wonderful woman. She sacrificed all those years for her daughter. And back then, even for mental health purposes or psychiatric or anybody who suffered from that, those are very not very nice places, and they're still not very nice places, but they are much better today than they were, some of them. But they don't really care for people. Tomasi, sent her for a spell like a racing horse, mate. Yes, yes. I hope I pronounced your name right. What I would say about that with Hillary that bothered me the most is if you're going to be running for president, then you should be honest with the American public. And it's not like we haven't had presidents that have not had illness, or like even JFK, Roosevelt. But my point, be honest with the American people and let them determine if they believe, you should be. Don't hide it. And she's hid her medical condition for a very long time. And, she embarrassed herself. Yes, Mike, that's very true. They can. All right, everybody. It's 2:30. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna get something to eat and then work like I always do. Thank you all for your support. I can't wait to show off these membership cards with the thing. They're awesome, and what we're putting together with that. And as I said, membership cards are now available themselves as perks in our growth fund, and the link is above here. And with that, you're going to get a welcome package, and it's a beautiful card. I'll show it to you, and the card sits in it. You're going to get an American flag pin, and you're going to get an MFA sticker to go with that and come with it. And the underground package is a little different for that as well. Yeah, Eileen, I gotta eat. I'm starving. I had a long day today. Good night, Mary. You got it, Mary. Thank you so much for everything. Yes, early breakfast. Thank you, Lynn. Yes, Bradley, please message me. Thank you, Amy. Night, Kenneth. Thank you, Christine. Yes, Leah, court went great, and I'm going to be doing the update on the haters on MFA TV under the MFA haters event that's in MFA TV. So I tell you all, there's and you're going to be seeing a lot of live stream events with guests. That's what we're starting on now, and we're putting together this so I can bring guests on, show you just like CNN and Alex Jones does and everybody else does. Just like I did the debates when I had them streaming with the green screen. But this is going to be even different because now we're looking for MFA. We're raising the money to find MFA office location, main office location, and build a production studio in there. Nice area to shoot, bring guests on, all kinds of good stuff. See you, Pamela. Much love. Monica would love his shirt too. Okay, Monica. Just tell me what you want. No, Dana, I have to go back tomorrow for some finishing stuff that we have to do. Because it's I'm gonna explain everything and show everything to everybody by tomorrow afternoon. I just busy, 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 busy. But one priority is to, like I said, chop the head off this snake, and I'm gonna do it right live on the thing. It's showing you what we did here and how that works, and what I'm gonna do in their jurisdiction as well. And I'm gonna let people listen on the. I'm gonna put it on speaker. I'm gonna put it on speakers to show everybody how real it is, and I'm gonna be sharing some other key information that others don't know about some of these people. And it's official. It's official. It's not, Google crap. Leona, yes. Once I get them in the store, sure. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for liking, sharing, everything. Thanks, Trevor. Dana, I don't know what time that's going to be, but I am going to start to, once I get this settled down with this March up, our website up, and things like that. And we have some cool pages with George Soros coming up that we're going after. You're going to see a lot of MFAs start to switch to be even like Judicial Watch, but even better with going in for. Once we have more volunteers involved in this and doing this, we're going to build and build and build. I have to spend a few days reaching out, and I've been wanting to do this for so long, but so much stuff's been going on, to all these wonderful people who have volunteered and are vetted to be volunteers, and to contact them back and get with them. So I'm going to take actually 3 days to do this, and just focus on that, get my volunteers to share the news, and then I'll just come on at a normal hour and do, maybe in my show in the morning for about an hour, and then the evening just an hour, and keep it at that, because I have to get this stuff done. I love talking to you guys and things like that, but we have to move on with some of the stuff that we're doing and get it moving forward. Yeah, you'll be seeing all the new items. You know me, I'll be showing the stuff off. I love the shirts. The shirts are very cool, and I want to thank they did a great job on them. Yes, Eileen, that's another thing that I'm working on. I have all the these people that are stalking and hating and making claims. They must have missed the first 30 years of my life. Okay, they must have missed the first 30 years of my life, because they just keep focusing on this Pennsylvania bullshit from 1998. Okay, so they must have missed the first 30 years of my life, which is incredible, and then my life thereafter that, after this bullshit stuff that I went through, and it's not even worth it. I want people to see the truth, and you're seeing the truth of true corruption in federal courts right now. Federal courts. I wasn't in federal. I went after suing these people in federal court, but federal court alone. This is how corrupt. Do you want to see how corrupt it is on a local level? You want to know how corrupt judges are on a local level, and DAs and attorneys and that? It's horrible. And the biggest corruption starts in the smallest towns across America. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to create MFA and have chapters all over. So if somebody's exposed in their city or their town as being, corrupt, or they're harming somebody or doing something to make the story go viral, investigate it and break the story and get it out there before other people do. And to help force these people, you can force somebody by exposing them publicly and legally, exposing them, but even just publicly, if they're a public official or anybody even causing harm to them, if you force them and you put the true evidence out there and you go forward with it, bring on the guests of the show and things and make it viral, you'll stop them. No Kevlar shirts. Bulletproof vests are coming though. We're gonna have a whole prepper shop, safety shop for women on one side and men, both men and women. Yes, Stephanie, I did see Hannity. I mentioned him in the beginning of the show. And if you haven't seen the beginning of the show, please watch it. It's great. I'm gonna cut out this end part of it for YouTube, but I'm going to get that up. It's one thing I'm going to do before I go moving on to get it downloaded. And I'm going to cut the end of it. because the beginning is perfect. I don't want it too long and have it up there. Thank you, Lynn. All right, guys. God bless. I got to roll. Have a great night. This is how corrupt. Do you want to see how corrupt it is on a local level? You want to know how corrupt judges are on a local level and DAs and attorneys and that? It's horrible. And the biggest corruption starts in the smallest towns across America. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to create MFA and have chapters all over. So if somebody's exposed in their city or their town as being, corrupt, or they're harming somebody or doing something to make the story go viral, investigate it and break the story and get it out there before other people do. And to help force these people, you can force somebody by exposing them publicly and legally, exposing them, but even just publicly, if they're a public official or anybody even causing harm to them, if you force them and you put the true evidence out there and you go forward with it, bring on the guests of the show and things and make it viral, you'll stop them. No Kevlar shirts. Bulletproof vests are coming though. We're gonna have a whole prepper shop, safety shop for women on one side and men, both men and women. Yes, Stephanie, I did see Hannity. I mentioned him in the beginning of the show. And if you haven't seen the beginning of the show, please watch it. It's great. I'm gonna cut out this end part of it for YouTube, but I'm going to get that up. It's one thing I'm going to do before I go moving on to get it downloaded. And I'm going to cut the end of it because the beginning is perfect. I don't want it too long and have it up there. Thank you, Lynn. All right, guys. God bless. I got to roll. Have a great night.